Thanks for joining It's Dating with Katy. Today we are about gratefulness and thankfulness. It is Thanksgiving week, and we're going to be talking about why you should be thankful for being single. I'm going to give you 5 reasons, really great reasons that you can be thankful that you are single right now in this season. And I brought my trusted turkey. Do you guys remember these old school decorations? Like so cool, the fan out ones, like you can bring him anywhere. So my trusted turkey will be a part of today's podcast. Well, thanks so much. Please do me a favor. Will you join? Will you subscribe? Will you be a part of my tribe and community? Now, I call us the 20%ers. They're cool, they're quality, they're ready for real relationships. Now, these are the singles that I know you are looking for because trust me, for my clients, I am out there seeking quality people to match them with in matchmaking. I am out there on Bumble swiping too much to the left because really, there's too many 80%ers. So if you're listening to this, I already know you're a 20%er and you are going to attract what you are. So you're single right now. Being single is a benefit, and I'm going to give you 5 reasons why. Well, let's get started. The first thing I want to say is that I'm just so grateful for you guys. I'm so thankful for this Dating with Katy community. I'm so thankful to Sync Matchmaking. I have 7 amazing women I work with. I'm so thankful for my clients, amazing people who really hunger for somebody great. I'm thankful for my husband who I just got married. I'm thankful for my kids. You get it, right? I'm thankful. And this is the number one thing you need to be moving in, that you can't really be negative and grateful or thankful at the same time. So the first things first, be thankful for being single. Literally say it right now with me. I'm so thankful that I'm single right now. I'm so thankful I'm single right now. Because there's something literally God is trying to teach you in your singleness. And whether you're a single parent, whether you're single, never been married, whether you're single and you are, post-divorce right now and you have no kids and you're an empty nester, it doesn't matter. There's something to be learned in this season. And if you're smart enough, and if you're my 20%er, you're willing to say, what is it? What is it that I'm supposed to be learning? So start saying thank you. That is the best way to do it. You just start saying thank you for my singleness. And I believe that when you change the way that you look at things, the way you look at things is going to change. So a lot of you, talk about, Katy, I want to manifest. I'm going to make a list. Well, sometimes those lists, and I'm going to be doing a podcast very soon on the only list you should have. But that's going to help you get focused and be thankful. But at the same time, you've got to look at your present moment right now. And instead of just thinking about the perfect man and the amazing woman you're going to have, just sit and be thankful for the opportunities that you have right now as a single person. So sit in your thankfulness, be grateful, be gracious, have lots of gratitude for your singleness. And this will be an energy that you will bring into your dating life. Now, let's move on to number 2, because you are already thankful. You're like driving in your car right now saying, Katy, you're right. I'm so thankful to be single no matter what is going to come of it. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be great things. When you sit in your gratitude, great things will grow. All right, so number 2, I want you to take the time to heal. This is such an opportunity to take time and heal. Now, I know some people will say, well, to get over somebody, you got to get under somebody. That's bananas and that's baloney, okay? The 2 foods that we shouldn't put together. But you just need to be healing during this season. There's so many next things that you can be doing. Maybe you are divorced. Maybe you had some abuse in a last relationship. Maybe you were the abuser. You really need to take time. And this is what I always say, ask yourself the deeper reason why. What was the deeper reason why I behaved like that? Why did I put up with that? And I'm going to encourage you to get a therapist. Now, all of my clients have therapists. And this is what I love because they're doing the work. And all of my successful people are doing the work. That's why they are able to attract someone else who has done the work, the other 20%er. I mean, I have a guy, he wants to sign. He's been divorced a few times. And when I say a few, it's more than 2. And, a friend of his said, bro, you're not even ready. Like, you need to go get a therapist. And I can attest to that because clients will often say, my therapist is so glad I'm working with you because I take the anxiety out of dating while they're learning to grow and become a better person. So therapists love me and I love therapists. So if you don't have a great therapist, I have a fabulous one. She works with a lot of executives, which again, you can be great in the executive world. Men, I'm talking to you right now. You're fabulous and making the money, doing the work, the finances. But when you get into relationships, you're lacking a skill set and an empathy and different things. So therapy is great for that. Therapy is also a great place where you can go back to the deep roots, which would be the little Katy. Like my therapist says, okay, what is little Katy feeling? What happened in little Katy's life that maybe is encouraging or creating this insecurity in me? I mean, even to this day, I talk to my therapist every other week. She's fantastic. So get a therapist. My second thing would be to get a coach. If you're preparing to run a marathon, if you're looking to be a better ball player with 3-point shots and you're not there yet, then you hire a coach, right? So if you're looking to be a better speaker, a better dater, whatnot, you hire a coach. It's what I do. I do 3-month coaching sessions, and you got to be out there dating as well, but it's such a great way to kind of start exercising those dating muscles because it is a skill set, you guys. Just like in fitness, what would you do when you wanted to get fit? You hire a trainer. And I used to be a trainer at Equinox, and people would literally look at me and say, her, I want to train with her because I was fit. I was exuberant. I was joyful. Like I had what they wanted. And so that's why people would train with me and only be training, learning, and growing from people that you would trade places with. I've been saying this a lot because there's so many dating coaches, relationship experts, and I love it. They're, a lot of them are doing sob stories right now and like, oh, I messed up here, but I'm doing better here. But honestly, we want people who are walking the walk consistently. So be encouraged. Who we're learning from is basically our mentors, whether it's on Instagram or literally a coach or mentor. All right, number 3, what I want you to do in this time of your singleness, I want you to build your faith muscle. Now, faith is truly a muscle. Some people have little muscles and some people have big muscles. And what does that come from? Exercise. And in your journey of faith, because some of you are like, well, Katy, I definitely want someone in my life. I believe in it, but your faith is very little because the way you speak, there's no good men and all ladies are crazy. Well, your speech is not matching with what your heart and your mind are really wanting. So you've got to change that. And how do you do that? By growing in faith and speaking forth in thankfulness and in vision and in just excitement for what is coming. So instead of, well, I don't know, my life's too crazy, I can never get a guy, you're going to say something like, because you're going to say this by faith, my life might be a little bit crazy right now, but when it settles, I'm going to meet an amazing man and I'm going to see why this was part of my journey. Just changing your speech increases your personal faith. And here's the deal. I have a lot of faith for my clients. I actually really, really believe that I can find them amazing people. But here's the hard part. Then they go on the first date and they kind of ruin it. And they say things that they shouldn't be saying. They talk about ex-wives. They are not listening to my coaching. And therefore, they're not really putting their own faith into their journey. And it frustrates me all the time. And it happened even in fitness training. I know that my process will get people thinner, healthier, happier. But yet, if they don't follow it, if they don't believe it for themselves, what did it matter? If they go and eat junk food all week long, how can I help you? So build your faith muscle. What I'd like for you to do is go back and listen to podcast number 2. This was such an important podcast for me. I made it number 2. Numero dos. Stop right now, go back and listen. It's what I call the 4 foundations of dating. If you don't have these 4, I can't guarantee success. And I started not taking clients based on these 4. People that are overweight, I can't guarantee success because there's deeper issues lying there. There's deeper self choices. You're not respecting yourself. So how can I trust that you're going to respect a partner? The way that we take care of ourselves is going to be the way we honor and respect and take care of others. So it's also building on faith, your faith and believing in something greater than yourself. If you think you can handle this, if you think you can have a great relationship with someone because you're so great, wrong. That is incorrect. There's no way. There's nobody good enough. There's nobody smart enough. Nobody has the biggest EQ ever to really do this right and do it perfect. So you need help. And I truly believe it's from having a relationship with Jesus. It is with God. And if that is something new to you, I'm happy to share that with you because the world disappoints. It's just straight out. People disappoint. No one will ever meet the needs that only God can meet. And I'm going to say this again, only God can meet all of your needs because he knows you and he created you. So this is where faith comes in, is when we come to God, our faith will build. And not only that, I'm going to give you my favorite Bible verse. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desire of your heart. So if you say to me, Katy, I want to be married, but I just don't know if God wants me single, or I just don't know if that's my lot in life. And again, that is, if it's the desire of your heart, that is meant to be. So you need to learn to, by faith, because you don't see it and it's unseen and it's coming, you have to hold on to it. It's kind of like wind. You don't know when the wind is going to come up unless you listen to the weather girl. And you can't really see the wind, but do you believe that there's wind? Yes, you do. So learning to be faith-filled, just like believing in the wind, is what you need in this journey of singleness. Here's your number 4. I want you to use your free time for all of these creative ideas. Pick some and start to do them. I'm a coach here. I'm not your therapist. I don't want to listen to you whine and cry all day. I had a friend here the other day. He said, Katy, every day is Groundhog's Day, telling me about dating. I'm like, bro, that's enough. Go out to a bar by yourself. Go listen to my podcast 34. And he's like, oh, I can't. Okay, then stop complaining to me. Go listen to any of my podcasts for Pete's sake. Or I said, how about I come down and take some pictures for you? Okay, well, maybe another day. Okay, stop. That's where I have like zero tolerance for that kind of stuff. So here are some great ideas that you can practically do to start realizing that, hey, I'm single. I got an extra free time because I know that once in a relationship, I won't. So number 1, invest in others. Like currently, all my kids are out of the house, so I have extra free time. So I have a buddy who lives here in Dallas. I knew him from Newport Beach. He has an 8-year-old daughter. He's a single dad. I can't imagine that poor girl, that poor dad. I'm sure there's some difficulties in shopping and bras and things like that. So you know what I do? I take her out a couple times a month. We go shopping, we get our nails done, we bake cookies. I invest in her because I know that's going to give me great reward. So start to invest in others. There's convalescent homes, there's big brothers, big sisters. I'm sure at your church you can do that. There is no excuse. There are people who are hungry in your neighborhood, in your workplace. Ask them for coffee, listen to them. Be someone who's growing and a good listener and a giver to other people. Number 2, this is a B, I should say, of number 4, find a new hobby. I just had a friend here. She's so amazingly diverse. VC, capital, that girl is like biotech, VC, and then she's also this, like, I know how to belly dance and I can sail giant yachts. And I'm like, okay, you're rad. Because she makes it a point every time she moves to a new city, she learns a new hobby. Now, if there's not a hobby that you can think of, pickleball. Everyone's doing it. Just pick up pickleball. Find a friend, do some pickleball. Lots of hobbies to be had out there. Number 3, build your tribe. Start to have friends. When I became a single mom, I'll tell you what, those moms from school did not want to hang out with me. And first off, let me just say this to all you married moms or, women who are becoming single amongst married moms. We do not want your leftovers. We don't want your seconds. We don't want your husbands. Everybody calm down. So I had to find new friends. And I literally would meet a woman. I worked in retail. I'd meet ladies all the time. I'd go out. I'd say, you know what? You're awesome. We should hang out. And you know what I did with that? I actually got their number and I'd hang out with them. I can tell right away, and usually on a first hangout, if they're my vibe and my tribe of people. And I built an amazing group of single mom friends that as I was journeying into, finding a guy, I wanted to also have friends that were not only single when I was single, but all of them journeyed into finding a man as well. And then we had friendship groups and we had relational groups. And it was so great to see all of us going through it together. And one got a guy, the other one got a guy. Okay, this one broke up, but so going through that together is your tribe. So find your tribe. And maybe from a new hobby, you'll find your tribe, right? Hiking, joining a hiking club is your new tribe of these overnight hikers. So those go together. The next one is volunteer. For Pete's sake, get some philanthropy in your life. I can't stress enough how much people who volunteer have a bigger vision for the world. They see things differently because they know not everyone's life is picture perfect. When I volunteer and I give back to a women's shelter, I recognize how blessed I am. When I volunteer and work in a clothing resource center for people who just come out of jail, and I did this once before, literally a man had just come out of jail. He had 4 kids. He was trying on suits for, it's called Working Wardrobes in Orange County, outfits for job interviews, success, and he was crying. He was like, I want to make my family proud. And I would volunteer every Tuesday consistently. I have a client, he does a soup kitchen every week with his church consistently. And he says, Katy, I need a girl who will come with me to the soup kitchen. That is sexy. So volunteering is sexy. Figure out what your heart really loves. Like, I love people. I love kids. I'm not big into animals. Some people love the animal thing. That's fine. Whatever it is, find a nonprofit, Google it in your area and say, hey, how can I serve you? All right, and moving on to our last one. Lots of good ideas there, you guys, so no excuses. But moving on to the last one is take time alone. And I mean seriously alone. Like, learn to be okay by yourself. Maybe go away on a little trip by yourself, sit with yourself for a while. And I'm not saying just sit and meditate. You could do that as well. Maybe read, maybe write, maybe really figure out what it is that you want. And this is where I want you to listen to my next podcast. Now, my next podcast, I'm going to be talking about your list. And everyone has their list. I'm going to be bringing up from a book. This woman had literally 135 things on her list of the guy she wanted. Ridiculous. But take some time alone to really think about and assess what it is that you want. You know, they say that if you want your dating life to change, then your relationship needs to change. And the only person you can change is yourself. So sit for a minute, think and write. And I'm talking pen to paper, old school stuff, right? Because whatever got you here in your singleness is not going to get you there to what you want next. And so maybe you've made some mistakes. Let's see how we can rectify that. Let's see who we need to forgive. Let's see who we need to ask forgiveness from. So this is a moment that's a little bit deeper. And then I want you to just remember that in this season of singleness, you can't be negative and grateful at the same time. So really find one of these and hone in this last couple weeks of 2024. Make sure you listen to my next podcast on how to make the right list, the only list you're going to need for dating. And until then, happy dating.